They thought it was over. It wasn't. The Black Death did not end in 1351. That's just when people stopped counting. The plague kept returning every few years, town after town, family after family. It became a rhythm of terror, and no one truly understood what was killing them. The first recorded victims weren't in London. They weren't in Paris. They were buried near Lake Issyk-Kul. A gravestone reads, "In the year of the hare, he died of the plague, with his wife." 2 names, Kutluk, Magnukelka, the beginning of something that would erase entire cities. At the time, Europe had only heard rumors, whispers of a sickness in China, in Persia, in India. Some said entire regions were emptied, and then the ships arrived. In 1347, trading ships reached Sicily. They carried wool, they carried spices, they carried something else. Sailors already dead, others coughing blood, black swellings in their armpits, their necks, their groins. Within days, they were all gone. From Sicily, it took just 3 years. 3 years to sweep through Europe. It traveled north, as far as Iceland, as far as Greenland. The colonies on Greenland's coast disappeared. Not conquered, not migrated, gone. Between 1348 and 1351, it killed somewhere between 25% and 60% of Europe. Some believe 2/3. Modern estimates suggest 75 to 200 million dead worldwide. No one truly knows. Medieval records were inconsistent. Entire families vanished without documentation. In Siena, over half the population died. They were building the greatest cathedral in the world. They never finished it. The half-built stone still stands, a monument to interruption. Work stopped. Music stopped. Laughter stopped. The sound of church bells became constant. They did not blame rats. They did not blame fleas. They blamed God. They blamed the stars. Some believed Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars aligned in Aquarius and poisoned the air. Others believed earthquakes released bad air from beneath the earth. Doctors prescribed, avoid fruit, avoid bathing. Drink good wine, stay cheerful, avoid sinful thoughts. Bathing was dangerous. They believed it opened the pores, letting the plague inside. Some treatments included urine, dung, fragrant herbs. Perfume became popular, not to smell pleasant, to survive. The real killer was smaller. Yersinia pestis, a bacterium. Carried by fleas, living on rats. The flea feeds. Its stomach blocks. It regurgitates infected blood into the next host. When the host dies, the flea searches again. Humans were not the first target, just the next available one. There were 3 forms: bubonic, swollen lymph nodes; pneumonic, lungs filling, blood coughed into air; septicemic, infection in the blood, almost always fatal. The pneumonic form killed up to 95%, the septicemic nearly 100%. Fear needs a target. The Jews were blamed, tortured, accused of poisoning wells. In Strasbourg, thousands were burned alive. Given a choice, convert or burn. Around 2,000 died on wooden stakes. Closed communities suffered worst. Monasteries, nunneries. If one person fell ill, all fell ill. One monk buried 34 brothers alone. He survived, with only his dog. The Black Death was only the second pandemic. The first had struck centuries earlier under Justinian, and it would return again. London, 1665, the Great Plague. Thousands dead, followed almost immediately by the Great Fire. China and India, 1890s, a third pandemic. It reached San Francisco. It was during this wave that scientists finally identified Yersinia pestis and discovered treatments. But the bacterium never vanished. It still exists. In Asia, in Russia, in the American Southwest, waiting inside rodents, inside fleas. The plague broke more than bodies. It broke systems. Labor shortages shifted power. The church lost influence. Old rules dissolved. People questioned everything. Attempts to cure the disease pushed early scientific thinking forward. The Renaissance followed. Out of mass death came intellectual rebirth. But that's the uncomfortable truth. Progress sometimes grows from catastrophe. Palliative care experts describe something called the existential slap. The moment someone knows, deeply, that death is near. Imagine that sensation spreading through entire cities. Church bells ringing constantly, carts carrying bodies, the smell, the silence between screams for years. Europe lived inside that feeling. They called it the Great Mortality. Not the Black Death, that name came later. The truth is, it never really left. It just learned to hide better.